Hey YouTube, Hybrid Kaiser here. I know it's been a very, very, very long time, but I'm gonna try and start. I know I said this before, then I'm gonna try and start doing more videos. But I've gotten actually quite back into the competitive scene. So I'm gonna try and do more videos. I have to find a screen recording software that's like I could probably use OBS to get everything in, but that's neither here nor there. But today I'm bringing you my deck profile from ARG in Atlantic City. That was here in New Jersey yesterday. Unfortunately, I did not make top 32. We'll get into the matchups after I do the deck profile. So let's just get started with it. So first of all, we have 3 Alistair the Invoker. I chose the Invoked deck just because it felt more like one of the decks that I normally like to play, which is more like stun-ish based, pretty much trying to not let your opponent play. And this guy, obviously, you guys know what he does. He searches out Invocation, and he can pitch himself to give any fusion monster plus 1,000 attack and defense. So he is your bread and butter of the deck, one of the main pieces. Put that aside. Then we have 3 Windwitch Ice Bell. Now, Ice Bell, let's do 3 Windwitch Ice Bell, 2 Glass Bell, and 1 Winter Bell. The Windwitch engine, I feel like it's for me, game 1, obviously, you're going to keep it in, try to make your plays, make your indestructible Crystal Wing. For those of you who know, the combo is special summon Ice Bell special summons Glass Bell. Glass Bell adds Snow Bell to your hand. Snow Bell can special summon itself when you have control of 2 or more winds. So you synchro into a level 7, then make Crystal Wing with the level 7. Snow Bell makes the level 8 into indestructible card effects. So game 1, that's fine and dandy, because normally, not a lot of decks are mating kaijus to deal with that. But game 2 and 3, I usually sided the engine out, unfortunately, just because it's so fragile. Just because obviously everybody's going to siding kaijus, everybody's going to have max Cs, and you give them so many cards by doing this combo when they max you with Ice Bell. So I actually sided this engine out a lot, game 2 and 3, and it actually ended up helping me win a lot of the games. So I don't know. I feel like I'm not sure about this engine. I'm not sure if I'm going to continue playing the Windwitches or not, but it's good for what it is. So, then we have triple Artifact Scythe. Now, I chose not to play Moral Attack just because I felt there's very few things like right now. Like, okay, you can special normal attack, you could pop something, and then usually they have another way to get to their combo. Meanwhile, if you just summon a Scythe, most of the decks nowadays, except for like Infernoids, it just stops them. So I think I actually really did like the 3 Scythe without the Moral Attack, so that's probably going to stay the same. Then I chose, for hand traps, I chose 2 Max C and 2 Ghost Ogres. I feel like that's fairly standard. Like most of the list was fairly standard for monster wise. So then starting with spells, we have double terraforming to search out your field spell, which is triple magical meltdown. Now magical meltdown obviously searches your Alistair, and when you activate your fusion spell, your opponent cannot negate it. They can still chain things to it, but they can't negate the fusion spell with the Magical Meltdown out. Obviously, D-Berry still works because it doesn't negate the card. But everything else, they can't warning, and blah, 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 that type of thing. And then when the fusion monster hits the field, they cannot activate any effects. So you will always have the first chance to activate anything when you summon something. So, like, let's say they have a Dryad on the field, you summon Raijin. In response to Raijin's summon, you activate Raijin's effect to book the Trident. They cannot activate Trident's effect because of Magical Meltdown. And then also, we have 2 Invocations. Sorry about moving and stuff. 2 Invocation. This spell is actually really, really good, just because it lets you banish from your opponent's graveyard as well. I don't know, the card itself is a really, really good card, as well as be able to recycle itself back and add a banished Alistair back to your hand. It's a really, really, really good card, so I really like it. Sorry. Then we have Triple Wonder Wand. Not sure if I like triple or not. Double was working before, but I felt when I was testing out triple, it worked pretty well, so I went with it, and it worked pretty well. I was able to resolve two a game, and it was actually really, really good. So that's always a good thing. Then for my other 4 spells, we have Triple Forbidden Chalice and Arageki. Now, let me move this out of the way. There we go. Sorry about that. The Chalice was mainly a meta call. I'm not sure, like, it was either this or Twin Twisters. And I went with this just because, like, most of the time, if you're going first, the back row, you're going to bait out most of the back row or hand traps out with your Crystal Wing. So what you want to do is use this, obviously, to protect your guys from monster effects or to stop things that you wouldn't want going off on their turn, blah, blah, blah. It was just another way to negate things besides Ghost Ogre, so that's always good. And obviously, mass removal is always good. Not sure if I'd main triple again. I think I'd probably main double and take this out. Take this and probably one of the Wonder Wands out, but not sure yet. Still, have to test after tweaking the deck a little bit. Going to traps. 1, 2, 3 artifact Sanctum. Excuse me, Jesus. Sanctum is just an overall really, really good card right now. Just because it's able to go into Scythe, and Scythe is just like a D barrier. Speaking of D barriers, 2 D barrier. Could not get a third, unfortunately, but 2 was just fine today. The only issue I had today was actually drawing into the traps, so I feel like increasing the number of traps was probably good, as well as changing 2 of the traps that I'm going to go over in a second. Which are 2 Call of the Haunted. Now, the idea behind this was that you could, once you use up a Scythe, you use Call of the Haunted to use that Scythe again if it gets destroyed or sent to the grave or somehow. And then it would activate again, and it would stun your opponent again. So, the idea was great, and in testing it was great. But when I actually got to the tournament itself, it never actually came up. I should say the opportunity never arose itself. Like, it was either I had to make a Makabo with the Scythe to be able to make a play, or it got Twin Twisted, or something like of that effect. So, I don't know if I'd continue playing the call or not. I'd probably take this out for, like, Storming Mirror Force or Quaking Mirror Force. And then we have Double Strike and a Warning. I feel like Warning is necessary just because it stops Slumber. Strike is obviously just a good generic trap. I'd probably changes to this list. I'd probably take out 1 Chalice and 1 Wonder Wand for an additional Strike and maybe a Lost Wind, or another D barrier. Unfortunately, I don't have another D barrier, but if I could get another one, then it'd probably be a 3rd D barrier and a 3rd Strike, just to increase the number of traps. Alright, extra deck. We have 1 Daigasto Emerald. Emerald is... The idea was, obviously, you'd go into late game with it, and just recycle back either all your Windwitches, your Synchros, your Fusions that you might need, since you run one of 4 of them, but those 4 rarely come up. But obviously just recycle and that type of thing, but it never came up, so I don't know if I'd play it again. But, it's there. Then we have 1 Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon. It's 1 Winter Bell, 1 Clear Wing, and 1 Stardust. This is it for the Synchros. Winter Bell is usually the one you go into first to be able to go into the combo. That way you can save Clearwing for emergencies or Stardust for later in case you have like an Alistair and it survives and you summon Glass Spell, and then you can just make it turn it, and you can just make a Stardust. So I probably wouldn't change any of the synchros. As for the fusions, we have Triple Raijin. Really good. Book a Moon on your opponent's turn or on either player's turn is just ridiculously good. Also the fact that it has 24 defense is really good too. It's just an overall really good, solid fusion monster. Then we have Mr. Pseudo Boss Monster himself, Makaba. Walking Ultimate Providence, I heard is pretty damn good. If I could run a third, I'd probably try to run a third, but I feel like because of the way Invocation and so many different matchups are right now, there you go. I feel like you need to run one of each of the other ones just in case it comes up. So, then we have one Caliga, one Purgatrio, one Megalonica, one Casitas, and one Elysium. Caliga didn't make all day. Purgatrio, I didn't play any Infernoid, so didn't make that all day. These two I didn't make all day, and neither did Elysium. Elysium was just there, just as a generic board wipe. Another board wipe I can go into, and it's really good, obviously, with 4,000 defense. You could just make it and put in defense and just like whatever. Casitas, I ended up playing a deck with frogs in it, so I was able to make that. And Megalonica was just a really generically, good, because Banish Rat, blah, blah, blah. So that's it for the extra deck. And now we'll go into the side deck, which I don't know. Like it was just my own type thing, and I don't know. We'll see. We have triple Artifact Lancia. Actually to go along with it, double DD Crow. Now, the Crows I liked a lot. They helped out. Lancia, like I said, I didn't play any Infernoid, so this did not come up. I didn't play Infernoid. I didn't play the mirror match. So Lancia was not able to do any work yesterday. So I can't really say if it's good or bad, but the idea obviously is there to go against the Infernoid matchup as well as their mirror match, and they can't really do things. So, and just in case, for those of you who don't know, if you Lancia, when they activate Invocation while they have an Alistair on the field, they can't banish the Alistair. So if they don't have another Alistair in their hand, you get to see their hand to verify that they don't have one, and then obviously the fusion spells fizzles. You see their hand and blah blah blah. So, and then we'll go over that last. So then we have two Twin Twisters, sided. Obviously for like paleo or back row decks, blah blah blah. Because most people are going to side in back row against your deck, so it's always good to have the spot removal. Then we have the Kaiju package, which is 3 Slumber, then 1 Jizukiro, 1 Dogoran, 1 Godarla, and double Gamsteel. Now, unfortunately, I couldn't find a Thunder King in time for the event. So instead of the 3300s, I just went to double Gamsteel. Now this, like I said, when I was going second, I decided this in, take out the Windwitches, 1 Wonder Wand and 1 Chalice. This performed amazingly well all day. I'm actually considering taking out the Windwitches and just playing the Kaiju Invoked deck. The engine itself is just really good. I had no issues whatsoever with it. It was just amazing all day. Let's see, what else? So I guess I can go over the matchups now. Round 1 was, I'm sorry. 1 second, let me grab my... I'm totally professional, guys, don't worry. I'm totally professional. So, we will leave this, and this, just so you have something to stare at while I'm talking and, being dumb. There we go. Sorry about this. I had it, and it decided to close on me. There we go. So round 1 was just pure Zodiac. Unfortunately, I lost round 1. He won the die roll, and I did not open max C, and he had the combo. Most of the pure Zodiac is now running the Black Sheep combo with Fusion Substitute. So he did that, and then game 2, I just didn't open anything either, and it was just horrible. So yeah, I lost round 1. Round 2, I went against some Phantom Knight Zodiac frog deck thing. I don't know what was going on, because at first I saw frogs, so I'm like, oh, it's paleo. That sucks for me. But then he didn't set any back row, or he set like one back row. I'm just like, okay. And then later on in the match, I saw an Ancient Cloak, and I'm just like, what's going on? And then I saw a Whiptail, so I'm like, okay. I don't know what this guy's playing, but okay. So I beat that 2-0. Round 3 was one of my friends, Tyler Nolan. He was playing Fluffles, and Fluffles cannot deal with a indestructible Crystal Wing, unfortunately, because none of their guys can pop it, and none of the guys can actually beat over it. So, beat that 2-0. Round 4 was Metal Fozu against, I believe that was Alexander. Yeah, it was Alexander Flamers. He's a pretty not like super well known player around the East Coast, but somewhat kinda like in the Jersey, Philadelphia area. But whatever. He was playing Metal Fozu. I lost to that. He opened pretty god both games. Round 5 was again a Metal Fozu. I actually 2-0'd that one. Round 6 was pure Zodiac, and I was able to beat it. Round 7 was pure Zodiac, and I beat it. Round 8 was pure Zodiac against my friend Ty Bowie, that I haven't seen in years, or like years, since like last year or so. But like we haven't talked in like a long ass time, so that was nice, and it was actually a fun match. But he ended up winning. And then finally, round 9 was Paleo, which is actually this deck's worst matchup, just because their effects are just ridiculous, and if you don't get a decently good hand to be able to negate their stuff or to be able to change things, then you're just not going to be able to win. And unfortunately, I couldn't do it. So, ended up with a record of 5-4, and I got, I believe, 93rd place, unfortunately, out of 370 people. Overall, the day was fun. In the beginning, I was actually scrambling to get my second Macabre and my Sanctums. I had to borrow the Sanctums first, and then ended up getting 3 myself later on the day. So, other than that, the event was actually really fun. It was my second ARG, so I'd say it was pretty good. The day overall, like I said, was pretty good. Got to see a lot of friends and stuff like that, and it's just fun. Like I just still enjoy playing this game, even as crazy as Zodiacs are. The game is still fun. The game is still fun to me. So, hopefully, I'll be able to start doing some more like Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro or Dev Pro videos again. So, we will see in the near future. I have the next few days off, so we'll try and work on something to get to you guys. Hopefully, you guys are still around for all of you guys for my my absence over the past year. So, thanks for watching. Subscribe, please, and I'll try and bring you guys more content, okay? I'll check you guys later. Peace out.